What's up, everybody? Welcome to Inside the Game, your one source for everything cool in video games. Now, you can always be a part of the show by going to InsideTheGame.ca or hitting us up on Discord, where there you can submit your clip and end off our show. We've got an awesome episode this week as we head to the clouds. I jump into the world of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and new gen is here, but you never forget about the old games. All that and a whole lot more on this week's show, so let's get started with the Inside Scoop.
I got a pretty cool one this week. South Korean company bHaptics, a company that makes haptic accessories for VR games, is launching a pre-order for their two new tack suit vests, the X40 and the X16. And just to kind of give you a quick detail on what these are, they're vests that you put on that have vibration motors in them, so when you play games, it actually has a feedback on your body. So when you're playing, first-person shooter, a fighter, something like that, if you get hit with something, you're going to feel it through the vest, which is crazy technology. We've tried out some of this haptic technology, and let me tell you, it's super awesome. So the fact that there's companies out there that are kind of pushing this forward is really cool, because it just adds to that immersion level in video games. And bHaptics, I think, is doing it right here. Their X40 suit is going to retail at $500, and that one is a little expensive, but if you're really looking for kind of the top-notch move here, that's definitely the way you want to go. But the X16 is a little more friendly at $300, and it is geared more towards in-home use. They're saying it's a little bit shorter of a vest, so you can wear it while sitting down. It's comfortable still. The X40 is going to be tailored more towards kind of the commercial, high-end demos, that kind of thing. So it's really cool to see this technology kind of coming into play here, and the fact that it's becoming a little more prevalent. You're hearing this haptic technology being used everywhere now. So the fact that we're kind of getting a quick look at being able to jump into this, mind you, it's only really working solely with just over 20 plus Steam VR games. There are a few that we are getting here, which I think are going to be pretty good. We're going to be getting games such as Onward, Thrill of the Fight, Sariento VR. We're also getting Half-Life Alyx, Skyrim VR, and Fallout 4 VR. And these games are all going to really tailor into what the vest is going to allow you to feel while you're playing these games. But this doesn't mean you can't use it for any game. Just like the haptic chair we actually got to check out, the VibePod chair, this is going to allow you to plug in and play any game, and what the technology is actually going to do is start to pick up audio cues from the games you're playing and kind of have that feedback through the vest. I noticed that's not necessarily the best use of the technology, but it's definitely a cool way to immerse yourself into certain styles of games. I found first-person shooters to be a really, really good use of this technology, and the fact that you can actually wear it as a vest now, I think is super cool. So definitely keep your eye out for what these things are going to be kind of coming in the future, and if you are interested, check out bHaptics, the South Korean company, and they're definitely their two new tack suits, the X40 and the X16.
So a little while ago, Drew and I, we got our hands on Minecraft Dungeons for the Xbox One, and overall, we had a good time with that game. It's a pretty cool dungeon crawler, casual style game, and to have Minecraft integrated to this genre, I thought was really cool. So if you haven't checked out our review, make sure you check that out. But some new news with this game, it got released on PlayStation 4 shortly thereafter, and it's also on PC. And with the latest update, we are going to get full crossplay between the Switch, PS4, PC, and Xbox One. This is really exciting news because for anybody who has whichever console, now you can play with whomever. So like I said, if you haven't actually checked out this game, you definitely need to. Now you can play with all your friends on whichever platform, it doesn't even matter. And this is all coming November 17th.
In the past few months leading up to the launch of the new consoles, Sony has taken quite a bit of flack for raising their prices to $70 per title. Now, it actually goes further. Internally, they were discussing raising the price beyond that, especially for first-party titles, as a way to reflect the increase in cost associated with producing these titles. It takes a lot more money now to create something of that caliber than it used to maybe 5 or 10 years ago. Now, some players were hoping that if the prices go to 70 or beyond, perhaps that would get rid of microtransactions. Well, it turns out that that was never actually on the table. Microtransactions are a large part of these companies' income, and they do not want to sever that off. Now, there is at least some solace knowing that they decided against going beyond $70. Capcom's chief financial officer summed it up nicely, saying that he believes the price of the software should reflect what consumers are willing to pay, rather than the cost associated with the creation of these products. Now that's some comforting thought, because in the new generation, and as everything gets more expensive nowadays, how much can they really raise it before players take a step back and really question, which games to get?
Game Pass has been around since 2017, and it's only gotten better with time, with the additions of Game Pass Ultimate. The fact that EA Play is now on board with everything here is really awesome. And the fact that Microsoft is kind of always looking for something new and fresh to add to Game Pass to keep it, kind of current and keep it fresh for everybody that wants to get a subscription, has continuing subscriptions. This is definitely probably the best game streaming service out there, bar none right now. And it's only getting better. We're actually getting a chance, if you haven't already, a 30-day free subscription to Disney Plus with Game Pass Ultimate perks. So to sign up for that, if you don't already have Disney Plus, is you can jump into the perks gallery and actually sign up. You'll be directed over to the Disney Plus website where you can make an account, start your 30-day free trial, and jump in and start watching shows like The Mandalorian, which is a huge draw, especially over the holidays here, where a lot more people are going to be home and they're just going to be watching TV together. Disney's got all those, really heartwarming, movies and shows that we kind of loved as kids, and kids now, there's lots of new content on there as well. So there's something for everybody here with Disney Plus, and the fact that Microsoft is adding this in to Game Pass Ultimate, mind you, it's only a trial period, so you get 30 days of Disney Plus, and you can claim that perk up until January 31st. So that's not too bad. You get a good chance over the holidays if you want to jump in and try out Disney Plus to see if it's something you'd like. It's definitely a perk worth checking out, and you know what? I think it's an awesome addition.
Alright, fellow Wastelanders and Vault Dwellers, I got some news in regards to Fallout 76, and this is pretty exciting because we got the latest DLC update coming in December. Now yes, the long-awaited and beloved Brotherhood of Steel is making their appearance finally for real in Fallout 76, and there's going to be a huge quest line involved with this and a whole plethora of new characters, and it even seems like there's a raider kind of quest line possibly along with this. We got to see this all kind of chalked in the trailer, and we won't find out more details until exactly December 1st when this launches.
Now, keeping with the theme of Sony in the news, there is a potential deal being struck between Sony and Bluepoint Games. Bluepoint Games are the remaster kind of masters of sorts. They have worked on many Sony titles, bringing them to future consoles, and the latest, being Demon's Souls, was somewhat of a test between Sony and Bluepoint Games. Now, they seem to have aced this test, and although it is unclear right now whether they will absolutely be bought up as a first-party generator, it definitely seems like we will know that by February this coming year. Now this is exciting because it's not just a deal regarding more remasters. If this goes through, Bluepoint Games wants to create their own IP and their own unique brand of games to bring to the PlayStation 5.
How amazing was last week with the release of Microsoft's Series X and Series S consoles, and also the release of PlayStation 5. Normally with PlayStation 5 they release an exclusive game with their consoles, and it was going to be Deathloop by Arcane Studios, but unfortunately, as reported in the news this year, that it got pushed back till next year. Well, there is a rumour from the New Zealand's PlayStation Store that it's going to get released on the 21st of May, the Standard and the Deluxe edition. Deathloop pre-orders come with 3 items: the Storm Rider cult character skin, 1 trinket, and the Royal Protector machete, which is an exclusive to the PlayStation 5 version of the game. Meanwhile, the Digital Deluxe Edition comes with 3 unique weapons, including the PS5 exclusive TranStar Trencher. You'll also get the Party Crasher Cult character skin, the Sharpshooter Juliana character skin, 2 trinkets, and an original game soundtrack. It has also been noted that the base game will be set at the regular price, and the publishers have not mentioned next-gen console tax as yet, as mentioned in the news from Scott. Well, this is amazing news because I'm looking forward to playing this game. But the only bad side about this as well is obviously this was going to be in a PlayStation exclusive, and Microsoft now own the rights to Arcane games. So who knows if this could be the last Arcane game that you may see on a PlayStation console.
Well, Cory, it looks like we're space botanists in this one. Alright, Cory, well, we got our hands on Pikmin 3 Deluxe on the Nintendo Switch, a kind of reimagined game from the Wii U era, which was kind of a weird time for Nintendo, right?
Yeah.
So, honestly, to see this game brought to the Nintendo Switch with a few new added features, I think is a good thing with just a couple minor setbacks.
Yeah, you know what? This is my first experience with a Pikmin game. I was aware of them way back when the originals came out. I didn't actually know this was a remake until we started playing it. And the fact that it is coming from a pretty interesting control scheme with the Wii U system over now that we're playing on the Switch now with either controller in hand or the Joy-Cons. So I found it a little difficult just jumping in. Some of the controls for me were a little hard to understand getting into Pikmin, but it is a relatively simple game. So once I've sorted it out, it was really easy to kind of move through this game. But I like the kind of cutesy, cartoony aspect. Overall, they didn't change the game much from the 2013 version. Visually, it still looks the same, but because of that kind of cartoon aesthetic we're getting here, it's, you know, it still fits, it still works. You know, the characters are cute and it's kind of fun to play through the way they talk and how they interact with the Pikmin during the game. So I did have a ton of fun jumping into this, and they haven't changed a ton from the original. Like you said, they added a couple things in. What were some of those things they added in?
Well, we got co-op, man. Couch co-op, which I think is a great feature for this game. And it's very easily accessible. All you do is press start while you're playing, and you can easily just access co-op right there, then and there.
Yeah, that's
so
awesome.
that's a good thing to see. And they actually added some side missions. So, you know, the whole base of the game is you originally are split up because your ship gets destroyed, crash lands on this planet. So you're kind of trying to find your crew, get them all back together, and while you're there, you discover these delicious fruits. And the whole premise of the game is you have to go and collect food to survive, because after every day, you consume one food on your ship. And, you know, some missions, some days, you might not get any fruit, but some you might get 2 or 3 fruit. So it's a kind of a, you know, a cute story that just I honestly I had a great time with this game, dude.
Yeah, it's like you said, the way that kind of the missions play out is, yeah, you're always kind of on that hunt for that precious resource, that food resource to kind of keep you and your crew going. And as you get through this game and you find your crew on the map, you actually join up with them and you get into the task of controlling all three of them at the same time. And you have your, up to 100 Pikmin on the field all at once. And we have up to 5 different types of Pikmin. So when you get into the some of the puzzles in the game, I didn't run into too many I thought were overly difficult. Some of them were challenging in a sense where you just had to kind of learn the mechanics of the game to understand how to unlock certain portions of the map and other things like that. So it's very enjoying and kind of rewarding when you do kind of move through this game and you do find a new type of Pikmin with a new ability that kind of allows you to, get to areas of the map, before you weren't actually, able to get to. So it was cool in that aspect to be able to kind of just keep growing and growing all the way through. My only gripe is it is a little bit of a shorter game, so you're not getting a ton of playtime here. But the nice thing is one of the new additions is 2 new difficulty modes, hard and super spicy. Hard is actually going to speed up the daytime timer that you run through as the game, because everything is time based here, so it speeds up the time a little bit, so your time crunch is a little bit more there. And then super spicy actually only allows you to have up to 60 Pikmin on the field, so you have to be a little more picky on who you kind of put on the field there. I know, no pun intended, but you know what I mean. So it's nice to have those extra kind of difficulties there, because if you do want to play through, or you're a big fan of this series and title, you can jump in and kind of have that more difficult playthrough and challenge yourself a little bit more off just the base game. But again, it doesn't change the game itself at all, other than the fact that you get less Pikmin and the timer's a little bit faster.
Yeah. Well, I mean, dude, we've all in all had a pretty good time with this game, right? Yeah. But if I gotta really kind of gripe on one thing, it's gotta be the price point, man. This is a full price game on Nintendo Switch, and for something where they've really just added, side missions and the co-op feature, which are really great, it's a steep price, man. Nowadays, like, this is a 7-year-old game now, and for $90, close to $100, I don't know, man. Maybe it's a good thing you got that co-op partner to help you pay for half the game. Yeah, you know what? You're right. They've done a lot of good things by adding a bunch of kind of, like you said, the co-op and, some of the side missions in the game and the difficulty levels. So they've added good things to this game to kind of refresh it. And anybody that's a fan of the series, I think, is loving this, and it allows new fans of the series like ourselves to kind of jump in and still really enjoy ourselves. This game kind of holds up through that, through time here. 2013 was a long time ago. Games were a lot different, so this game definitely still holds up. But yeah, for that price point, it's so difficult to kind of justify it, right? Because we're not getting any visual upgrades, we're not getting anything like that. We're just getting the same game with a few extra things. Like you said, maybe we're gonna need that co-op partner to help us pay for this full price title. Aside from that, though, we love this game, so we're gonna score this. Cory, I'm tossing it to you, dude. What did you think about this all in all? You know what? I had a blast playing this game, Nate. It was a lot of fun. Again, like I said, the controls are unique, but once you get it, it is a whole lot of fun when you get to control the different types of Pikmin there are in this game. And the fact that you can just jump in and play with anybody split screen at any point is a blast. But that price is a killer. You know what? I wanted to rate this game a little bit higher than I am, but because of that price, I can only give this one a 7.5. Okay, man, so I'm just a wee bit higher. I loved the quirkiness of the storyline. The dialogue I thought was really cute and just funny. Like, I was chuckling quite a bit. And just very satisfying as you unlock the new Pikmin and just explore the world of Copi. So I'm going to have to give this one an 8. Nice. Pikmin. This is a great refresh with new additions sprinkled in, co-op being the biggest, but it definitely comes at a price because it's going to set you back 80 to $90.
right, Nate, you ready to get punked in the clouds?
Yep.
Nate, you and I checked out Cloudpunk this week, and to be honest, dude, I was pretty excited to jump into this game. This has a very unique art style. It's got this kind of Minecraft-esque dungeons look to it, and I was rather intrigued by the style for sure. And then the story, well, Nate, I think that's kind of where we have a bit of an issue, is the actual story. What's going on is there's a mystery to this whole Cloudpunk delivery service, and it's intriguing, but dude, it is so slow to get this thing going. They want you and I were talking briefly off camera about how they want you to get immersed into the world, but yet the world is cool, but that the world still feels boring. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Yeah, dude. Like, basically, the whole premise of the game is you are a glorified delivery driver. You go from point A to point B and sometimes to C to either pick up a package or a person and deliver it. And there are some options within some of these deliveries. You know, you can kind of make some moral decisions, whether or not you think, you know, without spoiling too much, one of them, there was a ticking package. Yeah. So, you know, the whole time you and your computer, who's your co-pilot dog thing, Camus, you know, you're kind of discussing like, oh, I have bad feelings about this, so you have the option to throw it in the trash chute, so we'll, you know, explode or whatever it might be, just out of the way, or deliver it to the proper location. So Drew and I actually did two different things, and cool. They actually had different outcomes. So that's where I'll kind of leave it. But you know, as you further play the game, like Drew was saying, there's kind of this underlying, you know, weird kind of bad feels that you're having for this delivery service. Now granted, they do tell you that it's an illicit delivery service, so it's, you know, you're not really working for the government, but you do a couple things where it's a little shady, and I don't know, it's weird though, man. Like, it's so slow. You go from one mission to the next, and often you'll complete your delivery and then you'll be sitting there waiting for a couple minutes, sometimes even 10 minutes for your next objective, where then you just have to drive to the other side of the city, where it's like, you know, maybe if I knew where my objective was, I could have been driving and, you know, listening. So there's just, I found there's a lot of poor pacing decisions in this, where you're kind of just stuck sitting there.
No, absolutely.
Or then just driving.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more, Nate. The pacing within the game is so out of sync, to be honest, because like you said, dude, I sat there for 5 minutes. I had no objective, nowhere to actually go, and I sat there as Rania and Camus had a conversation, and I drove around in circles. I'm like, where am I going? What am I doing?
So the big thing is with this game is you're kind of really meant to just explore the world. Like, there are all sorts of people to talk to and merchants and stuff, and this is where the game mostly drew me in, I think. Like, after a couple of deliveries, I just kind of moseyed around and talked to a couple people. One of the people, they needed their punch cards, so I ended up, you know, I have like 20 punch cards I have to find throughout the whole entire city. So that was kind of like your classic fetch quest. And then another one, there was completely side quests where I found this guy walking around, android rather, and he wanted to be dropped off at this place, and you kind of find out that he's actually a male escort. You have the option to actually deliver him to where he's supposed to go, or bring him to a safe location. So I thought that was kind of cool. You know, you get these conversations happening, and you kind of see the world building and just the whole feel of it all. But again, it's just the pace. That's where it all comes back to. It's just a little too slow, I think.
Absolutely.
Hello? Are you the elevator that eats people?
I am Gorgothua, child of Kara and destroyer of worlds. Hear my roar and quake in fear. fear, for I will consume all mankind.
Listen, Gorgothoa, my friend Joe isn't getting any business because people can't use you as an elevator anymore. Any chance you could go back to just moving people up and down?
So Nate, not only is there, like, there's the intriguing story, but it's so slow as we've touched on, but there's also other issues. When Rainia stands still outside of her haba, she continually stretches for hours on end. Dude, it's like a repeated stretch, and her arm goes out, and her arm goes, and I'm like, what are you? Nobody stretches like that often. The other couple issues I had was the actual transition from one location into the next. It lags out. I'll be in the middle of a gameplay sometimes, and that'll lag on me. I'm like, man, this game doesn't seem like it'll be that complex that we're experiencing this lag. Now I'm on an Xbox One X, and
I'm actually on the Series X, and I didn't quite get a lag, but man, so if you're in third person perspective, because you have the option between third and first when you're walking around the town, and if you're in third person, there's kind of that weird lag, and you'll see in the video behind me, it just like it does this weird pan into vision where you're like, whoa, it just doesn't feel right. But first person, it actually makes sense. You kind of zoomed in, and I'm like, okay, but it's just weird, man. I'm just like, third person, it just really throws you off.
Did you walk around in third person?
I did a little bit. They give you 3 perspectives. They actually give you the option to do the outward side-scrolling perspective, which is cool, I guess. But honestly, most of the time, I just did first. I found that was more comfortable, and the field of view is easy to use.
That's fair. I did third person, and when you're in third person, your character, I felt, was always tilted to the side like this, but yet would walk that way. Like, you know what I mean?
Totally.
Rania wasn't straight on in running. She'd be turned on an angle and then go. I'm like, what is? Dude, I just felt so disconnected from the game, and that was unfortunate because I really wanted to get into this one.
I guess it was nothing. We did our job, Camus. We shouldn't ask so many questions.
I am not sure.
You want to say something?
If it is okay?
Sure.
Is this a job good?
It pays good.
Are we doing good things?
No more questions, please, Camus.
Okay, Nate, I think we've been playing Cloudpunk long enough. We're getting our head out of the clouds. What do you score in this one?
This one I found was a little bit tough because there's some boring, moments, and the pacing is kind of off. Some of the jankiness within the screens, but I can honestly say this is gonna get a 6. I appreciate that there are voiceovers for all the characters in the game. You're not really stuck reading much, and honestly, the world they created, it looks pretty cool and is very interesting.
That's fair. I think the world building is there. Honestly, it's just so slow. And the overall game just really appears boring. Lag is everywhere when you're on the Xbox One. I'm on the X, and I'm having issues there. There's just so many other issues. I'm just like, I had a hard time playing this game. I'm there with the 4.
An interesting world to explore with lots of lore and quests, but the pacing in the game really makes this glorified delivery service job kind of boring.
Are you never slow, Joe?
No, I am currently very slow, Joe. You got my converter?
Yeah.
Thanks, Cloudpunk. I'm gonna give you this old one. It's busted, but if you get it back to Emmett, he can fix it up and sell it on for a good handful of limbs.
These converters are worth a lot of money?
Well, they sure are. I owe Emmett, so you make sure it gets back to him safe, you hear? Without the trade-in value in that busted converter, I wouldn't be able to afford this repair. My racing days would be over. Early retirement. I'd go mad.
All right, guys, we've all been longtime gamers, and we've seen some classics come and go. But this week, we're talking about vintage games we want to see come to next-gen consoles. Cory, what you got?
All right, so I'm going way back. It took me a little while to figure out what games I want to see, brought into the next gen. And I mean, there's a million games.
Oh, I know.
We played so many games throughout our lives. So I went back to like my childhood.
Yep.
And games I had a ton of fun playing. And Contra is the first one that came to mind. I know they've kind of done a few remakes along the years, but I just feel like that's one of those games that was so hard, but so much fun to jump in with your buddy and battle through all the way through. I just feel like it's a game that they could easily remake in next gen, but make it take that next step that just kind of brings this, whole new kind of immersive level into a game like Contra. And it's a game maybe I just really want to see again. I don't know if anybody else does, but it's definitely one that I love playing, and it would be cool to see how they could make it better in next gen.
Would you like to see it still in that side-scrolling
100%.
Yeah,
100%. Because that's the nostalgia of that game, right?
Yeah.
That's what made that game so good, that style of play. So I don't know if it would really, how well it would come to next gen, but I feel like they could just enhance it, and make it look better, make it play better, add some few new things in there that we, that next gen has that maybe, they didn't have when they first made the game.
For sure.
So that's my first one, and I'm just going to go quick on the second one. Is any Ninja Turtles title from like the early 90s. Any of those games, the top downs, the side scrollers, all those games I think were so much fun to play because they were super story based, and I just feel like it'd be a really easy game to port over to next gen. That's kind of where I was coming from with those two retro kind of Contra games.
It's been so long since we've had a good Ninja Turtles game that we are long overdue, man. I don't care if they just remake something from the ground up as a brand new title. Don't even go vintage. I don't care. Just give us a Ninja Turtles game.
Give us a new one. Yeah.
Well, I don't even know if you guys knew this, but earlier this year they actually dropped a new Ninja Turtles game.
Right?
Yeah, and that's just it. No one heard about it, and let's not talk about it maybe, because apparently it's not that good from what I've heard. So
we're still looking for it then. We're still
looking for it is what I'm saying.
Oh, we're still in limbo waiting. Nate, what do you have lined up?
Honestly, this is kind of tough, but I'm going to kind of go with Cory's approach, because I'm going to go with Maximum Carnage.
Oh my God.
And that's Spider-Man, man. Spider-Man. Man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if any of you guys played that, but you
yeah,
can actually play as Venom, and it was kind of like this just really cool beat 'em up style Spider-Man game. It was also relentless, but I don't know, man. I think I loved Miles Morales, and that whole approach with Spider-Man is masterful. But to maybe get like a cheap $25, $30, beat 'em up style Spider-Man game, I'm in, especially with Venom. He needs to be there.
Yeah,
for sure.
We're long.
What about you, Scotty?
Oh, I have an idea. I may have mentioned this a couple times in some other settings, but my big one that I keep going back to every time is Kirby Air Ride.
I knew it.
I knew he was gonna say Kirby Air Ride.
I think that Kirby Air Ride, just the way the game was structured, where you go in, you grab power-ups, and then you face off against everybody, and it would lend itself really well to a Kirby 99 Battle Royale style. There's ways they could frame the gameplay in the next gen to make it just a giant game. And that game was, we're talking almost 20 years ago now, so they keep making Kirby games, but they haven't hit Air Ride in the same fashion, and I think it's been long enough. I would definitely love to jump into one of those games. On the new gen, it could look amazing. It could play with tons of players online, and it wouldn't lose itself. It could be exactly true to the original Kirby Air Ride.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Nintendo exclusive right there.
I like it.
Yeah, they can have that one.
Fortunately.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got two that I keep kind of toying with. One is the original Nintendo, and the other one is actually on PlayStation 1. And we've seen the one from PlayStation carry on over the years, but I want almost a remaster of the original Metal Gear Solid. That is what I want on next gen consoles, man. To go back into that game again, they'd have to revamp a lot of stuff because of that time period. Because if you go back and play Metal Gear 1 now, it's a little rough, right? But at the same time, if they could, Blue Point now is in the rumors of getting swooped up by PlayStation, so Sony's coming in there, maybe taking those guys. So maybe they can make a sweet deal with Konami, buy the rights to Metal Gear, and then they can give it the Blue Point. But, you know, things are lining up, right? We can be hopeful.
Oh,
Stars
man.
are aligning.
You really are
I'm
looking for that one.
Absolutely. I'm pushing hard for that one. But the other one is
it.
actually the very first game I purchased back on the Nintendo when the Nintendo Entertainment System released, and I'm talking about Ninja Gaiden.
Oh yeah, that was another game I was thinking of.
Yeah.
I'm so glad someone said it. I was gonna say it after we finished recording. That was my third game. Yes.
That game I was so addicted to as a child, man. I played that crap out of that game. It was so cool. I want it exactly how it was back in the side-scrolling aspect of everything. In that game, it was hard. You got to a certain point, dude, and it was crushing. Now, I don't know if I went back to it today, how it would be, but back in the times, man, it was hard.
Probably
as heck.
I bet you. I would the opening scene, the opening scene. Remake that face-off opening scene in the field. That is one of the. I remember that. That's ingrained in my brain.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
That is awesome.
There are so many games. Hit us up at InsideTheGame.ca and let us know what is your vintage game. Time to hit the battlefield with the latest Assassin's Creed.
You intrigue me, Wolf-Kissed. Orphan and sibling, warrior and poet.
Eivor! Sigurd! I missed you, brother.
Randvi, your husband returns, bringing gifts and riches to share.
And new friends, I see.
Ubisoft has released the latest Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and we took our leap of faith. Normally, I'm a big fan of the Assassin's Creed series, played them all, and mostly loved a lot of them. There's a few misses, let's be honest. And Assassin's Creed Valhalla kind of has me in the middle. Parts of it are great, parts of it are just not. There's a little bit of a slow start. Honestly, this campaign story itself, as you start off with a bit of a chase, I'll more or less say. I don't want to spoil the beginning. This beginning kind of sets the tone of the game, and then how you want to decide to go out and about to play Assassin's Creed Valhalla is completely up to you. Choose the male character or the female character, or midway through, just flip them around. Doesn't really matter. It's completely up to you. And I found because you didn't actually get established with one or the other, it wasn't like Syndicate where you would play as Jacob. And then other times you would have missions that where you would play as Evie Fry. And that's how Assassin's Creed Syndicate would play out. Or Origins, Bayek, that's your role. That's the way you go. You get into Odyssey, or then you have Alexios or Cassandra. You don't get the flip back and forth. Because in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, you get the option of whether or not you want to play as the male Eivor or the female Eivor. And I couldn't really decide which way I wanted to play. Most times, I'm either going the female role or whatever stealth character has that more kind of my play style. And here, it really doesn't matter which way you go. The characters, to me, weren't really bringing a lot of life and personality to Eivor like I really wanted to. It was hard to connect. In the end, I ended up choosing the male Eivor and kind of liking it for the most part.
No, it can't be! Stay back! That's a bread knife, my lord. Do you mean to butter me?
The female character just didn't seem to cut it this time for me, but the voice acting was just okay. It wasn't really strong. And overall, Assassin's Creed Valhalla is good, but I've seen better Assassin's Creed games. Origins was a great addition to the Assassin's Creed franchise. We go way back. Well, you know where it all really starts. Altair was a great Assassin's Creed, but there's major problems with Assassin's Creed 1. Very repetitive. Then you get into 2, and then you get the introduction of dual blades. And then, that really elevated Ezio's story and how that unfolded. On 3 kind of had a bit of a setback for me. But either way, moving forward to Assassin's Creed Valhalla, the campaign story was slow. It was a slow burn, and that's a bit of a problem when you're getting into something as big and as vast as Assassin's Creed. Now, it's not as big as Assassin's Creed Odyssey, thankfully, but it's still no small title either. There's lots to go out and explore, and of course they've taken a major leap into the world of the RPG element, allowing you to customize, upgrade, and furthermore, get into your character and deep dive. And one of the best parts about Assassin's Creed Valhalla is the settlement upgrades. One of my favorite things to do is completely customize my surroundings and my character, and that is also here for Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Thank you, Eivor.
Anything to help you feel at home.
I am most at home helping others. May we return to the subject of your visions?
We could, if you think it worth something.
I need one more ingredient to finish an elixir for you.
Getting introduced to the Viking time period I thought was really cool for the latest Assassin's Creed, but it's not perfect. The gameplay itself felt a little lackluster. The combat isn't perfect, it's not smooth, it's not fluid. There are often times where I'm waiting after I've countered to then, after I parry, to then counter that parry, and my character Eivor is just standing there and I'm hammering on the right trigger to swing back, and it's just not happening. Often when you're going out to get ready for your raid, you go buy your ship. Well, the longboat isn't really, it doesn't feel grounded within the water. It feels that oftentimes you're floating above the water, but yet it's in the water. It's a little bit of a disconnect there. And when you're on your mount, sometimes when I'm hunting, I face one way, and yet I shoot the arrow the opposite direction of what I'm facing. Kind of a bit of a miss there, and another step in that disconnect. Some of the characters in Assassin's Creed Valhalla aren't perfect either, and this is kind of one of those things that just takes all that experience away from what could be an ultimately great game. And it's just not there. Character models are a little blurry, they're not perfect, storytelling is good, but again, just not great.
Change has come, Burgred. All that remains is a coronation. A witan with the Lords of Mercia.
Burgred, my love!
My lady, are you injured? Did they hurt you?
I often found myself wondering, where are the simple things in the game, the quality of life sort of aspects of it? When you're running and you're going in there and you're looting stuff, well then oftentimes instead of just grabbing the items, you go up on top of the item. Well, where's the hit detection in that scenario? And it's those kind of things that set you back within Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It's really unfortunate. Or when you're looking to upgrade certain stuff or your settlement, well, where are the resources that I know I have enough of those resources in order to upgrade the next piece of tech or gear for myself, or the next upgrade in my settlement is not there to be found until I go to that actual piece or the land of the settlement, and then I know there's the materials, that's what I have, but it's just not enough. Everything should be present right there on the screen in the inventory. The skill tree, I think, is absolutely one of the best skill trees Assassin's Creed has seen, so that was nice to see. But there's just so many minor things that would have been a nice touch and just a quality of life that is just really lackluster in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Assassin's Creed Valhalla is a bit of a miss this year. It's a slow burn. It took me about 5 hours to actually get into the game, where I felt where I wanted to be, where it felt like, ooh, this is starting to feel like Assassin's Creed. And then after that 5 hours, it took another 5 hours again to open up even more. And by the time you hit the 10-hour mark, a lot of people are going to drop off. It's just not enough there to captivate them and hold them to push them forward within the story. The story itself of Eivor and coming and following his brother on their adventures across England is a great idea, but just not as well executed as I would have liked to have seen. Overall, Assassin's Creed Valhalla is a slow burn, and that's why I'm there with a 6.5. Set in the Viking time period, Assassin's Creed Valhalla has everything going for it to expand as the next great Assassin's Creed title. However, minor missteps along the way prevent Valhalla from being that great game. Walking on furniture, unsound combat, a floating ship, and even some texture popping makes AC Valhalla a slow burn.
Alright, so this week, I'm going solo with Crysis Remastered. And you wanna know what? You could have fooled me with that title.
I don't like this, man.
So, Crysis Remastered by Crytek. Well, this game I have been looking forward to for years. When I first heard about Crysis and the physics engine that they had created and the amazing graphics that was meant to bust your computer, was just beyond belief stoked for this game. Now, I've never been able to play it because I didn't have a PC growing up that was quite capable of playing that game. So now, years later, 2020, here we are with the remaster. Now, a remaster of a game that was arguably still up to date somewhat with its specs and graphics and all the like. Now, it really just fell through. Starting things off, you have the campaign. That's all there is to this game, which I was really looking forward to, like I said. Now, hopping right into it, well, the graphics are not that great. The audio in this game is really not that great. You are at moments on top of a mountain, and you walk inside this building that has all open windows, and it is dead silent inside the building, like completely nothing. And then you walk 1 foot outside and then it sounds like there's a hurricane happening. Things like this is kind of this entire game in a nutshell. The graphics, I mean, I thought the physics of this game were going to be incredible. You're walking through the bushes, they kind of move. When you shoot things like buildings and trees, they do kind of fall apart, but I mean, it's nothing that's spectacular by any means. I've seen almost every other game to date do better than this. Now, one cool thing that the game does have going for it is kind of the armor and the guns, I guess you could say. The whole Crysis armor system that you have where you can cloak and armor up while you're in combat is pretty unique. And the whole double jump kind of jumping boost system that they have is also somewhat unique, but I also felt outdated. It would have been really nice with this remaster to have things like ledge grab and maybe just smoother jump controls instead of maybe an even worse version of the original. Now, the story that takes place in North Korea. You're kind of going in on a covert ops mission with a small squad, and you know, as the game progresses, really, crap hits the chute and all your team kind of starts dying. And while you're on this mission, there's kind of this overarching story where there's aliens and you don't really know anything about it, but as you play the game, you kind of learn more, and it is actually interesting. I'd say it is the saving grace of this game is that the story is pretty cool for a first-person shooter, but nonetheless, still just outdated at moments and just really needed a true remaster, in my opinion.
Something's here! It's got Jester!
We have to go! We have to go now!
You know, again, without harping on this game too much, the stealth mechanics, I thought really needed some help, because there were so many times where I was in cloak and then I walk inside a building where I was completely unexposed to anybody, and then I decloak and then I start getting shot at from a machine gun turret outside the building. It blew my mind that the NPCs, they just had zero work done on them. They were kind of dumb at times or way too smart for their own good. It just was complete lackluster. Another kind of cool thing along with the campaign is it's not just a linear story. You're kind of put in this open sandbox where you can explore the world as you want, where you have to go to one objective with the option to do secondary objectives. But a lot of these missions are just, you know, go to an area, stay in this area, secure it, and then move on to the next. Or just grab the objective or secure the hostage. It's just kind of these basic things we've seen in all video games since the beginning of time. But anyways, I think I've talked enough about this game. I think I should score this one, and to be honest, this one is gonna have to get a 3, unfortunately. Now, I don't really think there was much of a remaster on this take. I can't speak for the original. I've only seen what it used to look like on PC, and personally, I think it looks better then than it does on the Xbox One S, like I reviewed on. So, that all being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this, because I sure didn't. After many years of waiting to play this beloved game, I was severely disappointed with this remaster. Nothing felt polished, audio and visuals were lackluster, the story was the only thing going for it.
The guys and I were live this week over on our Twitch channel, and we're going for the crown. Let's check it out with some Fall Guys action. Don't push. No push.
I feel like it would be really cool to like experience a city like that. Like I've been to London, but my memory, like the only thing I really recognized was like the tower, London Tower Bridge, and the Big Ben.
Familiar with the language, the slang words.
Yeah, dodgy.
The swear
dodgy.
words.
It's a very dodgy in London.
Yo, I'm second.
Atta girl.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Oh, I'm making it.
I can't see when.
Guys, I made it.
There you go. Nice.
Oh.
All right, Steve, it's all on you, buddy. No pressure. Well, maybe a little bit of pressure. Come on, Steve, go.
I keep getting pushed.
Yeah.
They're not playing nicely.
Are they grabbing you by the horns?
Yeah. Grab the bull by the horns.
That's right.
You got this, Steve.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh no.
Oh nope.
Yeah, I kind of. Oh, I messed up.
Move.
Oh yeah.
There you go. Jump.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's so close.
Where do you come from?
Oh. Alright, man, so you move the blocks for me and then I'll go. Okay?
Is that how this is gonna work?
Yeah, we'll help each other out.
He's standing on top as you move it nearer to the wall for him.
Whoa.
Yeah, how do you grab the ledge?
Hold R2.
Oh.
There, dude. Get out of my way there, wolf boy. Alright, I'm up. Oh, they moved it. Really, guys? Not cool. Not cool. Not cool. Not cool.
We can do just to miss someone's jump off, just as they're mid-flight, just give it a little nudge.
Yeah, I should.
That's what they're doing there.
Yeah. Alright, I'm on the last one. Where are you at, Nate?
Oh, I'm nowhere near.
Oh, that guy's up and over. How did he get up and over there? Yo, yo.
Come on, man. The ledge grab is so painfully slow. There we go. Nice.
Oh, come on. This isn't working. I'm sandwiched here. Come on, get up. Can't see, I can't see. Go. Get out of the... Oh, you people are in the way. Everybody keeps blocking me.
Go on, Nate. You can still do it, buddy.
Come on, Nate. There's lots of room over here, man.
Yeah.
They keep... This isn't
Go
working.
on, you can still do it.
No,
go.
we're going No.
Yes.
Did you get it?
I was the last one.
Oh, seriously? I've been here the whole time? Good job, Nate. Oh, man, I got stuck.
Oh.
Watch behind you.
Actually, behind me should be safe.
Oh, yeah, you're looking pretty clean right now. You got a minute, 15 seconds to go. Oh, he's getting cocky. Getting cocky, little dance there. Oh, here comes somebody. Nope. Oh, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Monkey boy's after you.
Get out of here.
Monkey man. Oh my goodness, Nate, run.
I can't see where I'm going, man. This is rough.
All right, you're good.
Yeah.
Oh, there's monkey guy again. Heads up. Okay, he's gone.
Oh.
All right, you're looking pretty good. Yeah, 45 seconds to go. Come on, you're halfway there. Watch out for the teddy bear thing looking, whatever that is.
Teletubby.
Five Nights at Freddy.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, watch out for the dinosaur. Dinosaur. Oh man, that's hard to see. That's it.
I know, man.
Oh,
this is
there you go.
awful.
Oh man, you were good. You were good there.
Oh, I'm scared.
You got 21 seconds.
Watch, there's a dinosaur in there. Whoa!
Look out,
You got 17 seconds.
Underneath as well.
Coming at you, watch out!
Oh no!
Oh no! Nate, oh no! 9,
He's right in front of
8, grab it! Oh, you got it!
I got it now!
4, 3
seconds,
2,
3 seconds.
1.
I didn't!
Oh, dude, I can't believe you got it back.
I snagged somebody else's.
Go, Nate, go!
Oh no, the cannon fire is already happening.
You going in the middle? You going outside? Outside. Watch for the ball. Watch the orange. Coming at you. Ooh, nice.
Good job.
Oh, you're on a good side. Come on, watch out! Oh, he dodges. Oh, he got nailed. Steamrolled by one of them. Oh, fancy dodging. Nice footwork. You got some catching up to do, though. Hopefully get caught in the little whirlies.
God,
that guy's getting hammered. Oh, my goodness, Nate. Go, buddy, go. Come on. Go, Nate, go.
Oh, you can do it, Nate.
Oh, good try, Nate.
Darn, they didn't.
Well, that'll wrap up this week's episode. Thank you so much for watching. Now, each and every week, you can end off our show just like Big Papa Fool did, as he's shown off his clip of some Rocket League action. But until next week, again, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you inside the game.